go back overseas. This time, willingly. No, what we're going to be talking about today is basically Japanese gaming. Also, we're going to all talk about other types of media, but it specifically focuses on gaming because we have somebody that has come out and basically said Western civilization has screwed it all up. Had to edit myself there. So Masahiro Sakurai pushes back, and this is the guy that invented, or he created, helped create Super Smash Brothers and Kirby, both well-known and popular franchises. He's saying he's pushing back against Western gaming trends and claims that Japanese developers should avoid appealing to Western taste. And I think he's right. There's a picture of the guy right there. Yes, because modern Western taste is not going to get you anything anymore. It might get you a few bucks, but what we've seen trending recently, at least in the last 15 years, is that all it does is suck your money dry and it absolutely bastardizes your product. So the gaming icon Masahiro Sakurai, creator of Super Smash Bros. And Kirby, he's made headlines for his sharp insights on the state of the gaming industry and the Western trends currently dragging it down. And what's funny about this is that he basically said one line that cut to the quick of all of it after getting a little trophy and an award for being super creative. You know what he says whenever asked about this? He plainly states, I think Japanese people should keep pursuing the things that Japanese people like. And therein lies the rub right there. Because people, true gamers and true people who like anime, who like manga or manga, however you want to pronounce it. But the reason why that is outselling American comic books is because it doesn't have all that other bullcrap in it. They tell the stories they want to tell. They're unapologetic with their art design. They're unapologetic with their storytelling, and they just tell the story they want to tell. They don't have to do this Microsoft Excel spreadsheet DEI checklist for everything that they're putting in there. And so, yes, go back to what you want to do. There's a reason why people who play the westernized version of the games always look for the Japanese version of the game, because the Japanese version is always different. It's normally more difficult, and it doesn't matter that we can't read those symbols or whatever you call your lettering. Now, he does go on to bemoan that both in Japan and in the West, today's climate, many developers are bending over backwards to accommodate Western sensibilities, often at the cost of creativity and uniqueness. Yeah, you can't just have a random thought anymore. It has to be a random, I guess, something. It has to be a random urge that the drugs that you injected into your body gave you. Now, Sakurai's perspective isn't just relevant. It's a reality check because Western gaming has not evolved. It has not innovated anything in an extremely long time, aside from a few outliers, and those basically get swept under the rug. But audiences are turning away, and they have been for the last 10 to 15 years because let's just go ahead and go into it now. I was going to save this for later, but let's go into it now. What was one of the games that came out this year that was supposed to be one of the biggest sellers, like the most hype, was supposed to be before all of the production and marketing and hype completely came to a complete stop? It was supposed to be Dragon Age: The Veilguard. That was one of them. Well, what were they promoting? They weren't promoting the game. They weren't promoting the actual world of Theas. You have Ferelden, you have Orlais, you've got all these other kind of things in there. They weren't promoting that. What they were promoting was the developer and director of the game, Corinne Bush, who transitioned from a she to a he, or a he to a she, one or the other. I can't even remember. I don't care. But transition. So what did they have to do in the game? Well, in the game, they had to have a transitioning character. They had to make that a point that it's a part of the main storyline. It's one of your main companions. They had to push that in there. Now, while we have said before that Dragon Age has always had the option to choose back and forth between whether you want to be gay, whether you want to be straight, it's like, yeah, but it was never a main story plot point. Never, ever was until now. Also, the dialogue changes. And you know what? Without a great script, without a great story, you can't have a good game. Sorry to break it to you, but you just can't. It's not going to work that way. Now, the most telling part of Sakurai's comments is that he doesn't believe Western gamers are even asking for these Americanized works. And yes, I think he's completely correct on this for the reasons that I just stated, because all of these games that should have been hyped, that should have been making money across the entire world, are not doing anything. They're bombing within 2 weeks and nobody plays them anymore. That's exactly what's happening with this, because people don't want this DEI bullshit ramrodded down their throats anymore. It's tired. It wasn't even cute to begin with. It's just tired, overplayed, and it's just in your face all the time. It's like, what I want in my face: boobs, action, guns. Let's just go up to look at this picture. Does this, okay, this is Super Smash Brothers, obviously. A little screenshot. What do you see? It looks like fun. Dudes, you want to look badass. Girls, you want to look hot. You also have your cartoon characters in there, like, Kirby's powers. King Dedede is this goofy looking penguin duck with a giant hammer. Like, everyone loves Yoshi. You got Star Fox right there. And then guess who that is? Oh my gosh, everyone knows that from Final Fantasy. So this perspective arrives at an opportune moment in Silent Hill fans, because look, the producer Motoi Akamoto of Silent Hill, they're coming out with a new one and they're calling it Silent Hill F. And he has even said, before Masaharu did, he has even said recently that, you know what? They watered it down. It's been westernized for a little bit too long. It's been watered down. It's been filtered. It's been diluted. We're taking it back to its Japanese roots. We're going to put that more Japanese horror style back on it again. And that is the best thing that can happen. This might actually be a Silent Hill game that's actually good. And as for now, I'm going to end up on that. But I just think it's good that, if it has to go overseas, because that's where the creatives are, that's where the creatives are allowed to thrive, I will happily let it go back over there. You know what? At least we can trust those people. They're not going to disappoint. Look what they've done with Nintendo. Best selling console ever, and continues and will remain to continue, or continue to remain, or however you want to say it, at the top spot for the foreseeable future and the unforeseeable future, because they stay true to themselves and they don't kowtow and pander to things. They're focused on making good games, telling good stories, and that's basically the gist of the business. At least that's how it should be. Westerners are pussies. If you guys have anything to say about it, this is Malty. Leave it down in the comment section below. Mouth of Malty, appreciate y'all being here, and y'all have a great day. Bye bye.